Hi everyone, this is Dr. Ekta with you, a chemistry expert. So my today's video is for grade 10 students. And what is the best part about my videos is not only the description of the topic will be shared, indeed all the questions which are asked in CBSE board exam will be shared in these videos along with the best presentation for you to score high. So let's get started with chapter 1 for grade 10, chemical reactions and chemical equations. Before I talk about the chemical reactions, let me explain you the term chemical reaction. So a chemical reaction is a process in which certain substances would react together to form a new substance with different properties. And these substances which are reacting together are called as reactants. Whereas the new substance which is formed is known as product, or if more than one is there, they are known as products. It's very simple to understand. Now, we got an idea that in a chemical reaction we have reactants and reactants will combine together to give you products. Now we get into the different types of chemical reactions. So here I have discussed the different types of chemical reactions for you. Let me take it one by one. Combination reaction, decomposition reaction, displacement, double displacement, neutralization, and the last one to share with you is redox reaction. Okay, now here in this video it is difficult to capture all the reactions at one stage and it will be very confusing for you as well. So here what we need to do is we'll first discuss only about chemical reaction, a single type of chemical reaction, which is the first one, that is combination reaction. So let me talk about combination reaction in detail. So here we get started with combination reaction. Now what exactly is meant by combination reaction? A reaction in which two or more substances will combine together to form a single product are known as combination reactions. Now very important to understand is all combination reactions are exothermic. I'm writing this term here for you. Now what is meant by the term exothermic? That means lot of heat should be evolved out. So I repeat, all combination reactions are exothermic in nature, which means that the heat will be evolved out. To give a beautiful description about a combination reaction, let me erase before that this all for you. We will be talking about different examples in this, and I have one example for you about magnesium ribbon. So magnesium ribbon, basically when we talk about, in your syllabus you have the burning of magnesium ribbon. So what happens when magnesium ribbon is burnt? Here we have very important question. Yes, so that's the setting for you. The first question is, what happens when magnesium ribbon is burnt? So when it is burnt, that means we are talking about its reaction with oxygen. So magnesium is denoted by Mg, symbol Mg, and of course it's a solid. The state need to be mentioned. It is reacting with oxygen, O2, which is a gas, and it is going to give you a single product. Now you can very well understand that we were talking about combination reaction, and hence two reactants have combined together to give you a one single product. And this one single product is magnesium oxide with the formula MgO. Again, it's a solid and its color is very important. You can get a lot of questions, and it's a white colored compound. Now here I'll just give you a brief idea about balancing. To understand balancing more, you will have to watch my another video. Okay, now if you see here balancing, we have to balance the equation from the left hand side and the right hand side. So the first element I'm talking about is magnesium. I have one atom of magnesium, and suppose this 2 is hidden for you. So on the right side also you have Mg, right? Now one atom of magnesium here, one atom of magnesium there, fine, that's okay. But what about oxygen? Oxygen is O2, that means 2 atoms of oxygen, and here we had 1. So in order to make it 2, we had put this coefficient 2. But when we put this coefficient 2, magnesium also becomes 2 atoms, so we had to enter 2 as well here. And that's your magnesium oxide formation with a well balanced equation. I repeat it for you. 2Mg will react with O2 molecule to give you 2MgO, which is a white colored compound. Okay. Now, after this, what is very, very important? I have already mentioned before that all such reactions are highly exothermic in nature. So when we are talking about they are highly exothermic in nature, so what should be evolved? Yes, of course, the heat. So where is the heat? Yes, the heat in this reaction is seen in the form of white dazzling light, just like crackers light, which will help us to understand that the reaction was exothermic in nature. Next important board question for you will be, why should magnesium ribbon be cleaned before we have to burn it? So let me just erase this. I have to set this for you, the screen. So when the magnesium ribbon is burnt, it doesn't burn that easily. So before burning, we need to clean its surface. Why we need to clean its surface? Because magnesium is very, very reactive element, and it is so very reactive element that it reacts with oxygen, it reacts with carbon dioxide, and even it reacts with the moisture. So what happens when it reacts with all these things? Yes, here we go. We have the formation of magnesium oxide, we have the formation of basic magnesium carbonate layer, which can be understood as MgCO3 dot MgOH whole twice. So these two layers are formed on its surface, and it's very, very important to rub its surface with a sandpaper to clean it. Otherwise it won't burn. So this is the answer for this question. The next question which we need to discuss is, what will happen when a magnesium ribbon is burnt in oxygen to give a white compound X with emission of light? Now we have already understood in the previous question that when magnesium ribbon was burnt, it formed a white compound called as magnesium oxide, and the formula I have given you over here, MgO, with a white dazzling light. But the next part is a little difficult for you to understand, that why magnesium will form this compound which I have written Y, Mg3N2. From where did I get this? Let me use this space to explain this for you. Okay. Now what actually happens, this magnesium metal is solid. It reacts with N2, which is a gas, and it is going to form a compound Mg3N2, which is again a solid. If I talk about balancing, yes, nitrogen is 2 atoms over here. Here also we have 2 atoms, no problem. Magnesium is 1 atom here, but on the right side you can see there are 3 atoms of magnesium. So we need to put 3 here, and that's a well balanced equation for the formation of compound Y. But you must be wondering, how did I understand that the product will be Mg3N2? I'll explain you that. Let me just erase this for you. And it's very, very easy, but you will have to go back to your class 9th, what you learned, the crisscross method for the formation of compounds. Okay, let's recall class 9th. Magnesium belongs to group 2, so it has +2 charge because it needs to donate 2 electrons to complete its octet. Whereas the nitrogen belongs to group 15, and it is in need of 3 more electrons to complete its p orbital with 6 electrons, so it has the charge -3. And you have already learned the crisscross method. So if I cross it, what am I going to land up with? Mg3n2, and that's what was my compound Y. Isn't it simple to understand? Of course, yes. Okay, the last equation, what they have asked in the equation, in this question, is about how this magnesium oxide, the compound X, would react with water. So it's very simple, because magnesium oxide is a basic oxide. It belongs to group 2, and magnesium is a metal. Remember, all metal oxides are basic in nature. So if it is a basic in nature, that means it should dissolve in water to give you a base. And that is what is written in this equation. MgOH whole twice, which is known as magnesium hydroxide, and it's a base. So here you understood one more concept, that all metallic oxides which belong to group 1 and 2 are basic in nature, and when such oxides react with water, they will give you their hydroxides, because this equation and this concept will be very useful for you in chapter 2. So that's all about this question. So before I conclude my video, I would just like to give you a recap what I did with you. So let us go back and see. Here we have simply discussed about the different types of reaction, but this video was emphasizing more on the combination reaction. We discussed its definition, and then we had the examples. In the example, I was talking about burning of magnesium ribbon, and I had discussed 3 FAQs which are very, very important for the board exam. Little bit of balancing you learned about exothermic reactions, and the last question was very important for you. It's a hot level. You also understood the crisscross method learned in class 9, and a new concept of that metal oxides are basic in nature. So thank you all, and if you like my video, just drop like and smash the red subscribe button to get the further updates. So keep watching and hope for the best results.